Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortensia Carty.
And it's episode 230.
230.
But who's counting? I guess we are. Anyway, yeah, so we're grateful to be at that many. Some of you have been with us since day one. Some of you learned about us along the way, and you've been avid viewers ever since. We thank you so much for joining us today and every morning, and we hope that you enjoy today's show. All right, we move on to the latest in local news. This from One Media. As part of the I Am Agriculture Youth in Agriculture social media campaign conducted by the CARICOM Secretariat with support from the United Nations World Food Program, Ms. Anastasia Elliott of St. Kitts and Nevis shared her experiences working as an agro-processor. After 4 years of baking as a means of making an income, Elliott decided to venture into a different sector, making herbal products from locally grown produce. Like any entrepreneur or small business, Elliott explained that she faced several challenges, the most significant being finances. Elliott said, quote, "I would say my biggest challenge is finance, as any small business, especially as a woman leading a small business in this space. Women tend to have it a little bit harder. I was also in a space that wasn't developed for entrepreneurship. I had to figure out other ways to get a lot of assistance that I needed." End quote. Meanwhile, Elliott said acceptance of her business type by the local community was important and has contributed to the success of her business. All right, very good story. And again, she's a very driven individual. We've interviewed her quite a few times. One of the things that she said in that story was the fact that she was forced effectively to go outside to get assistance, you know.
Yes, indeed.
But at least it's taken off.
Yeah, but I remember yesterday we mentioned that for those who take the leap as entrepreneurs, they're taking a big one.
Yeah.
Because it's a hard road to travel.
Very.
We continue now. This from the Nevis Island Administration. Disaster management officials in St. Kitts and Nevis and their stakeholders are now better able to deal with risk and responses if the Federation is impacted by disasters, thanks to a visit from Mr. Paulo Fernandez of the Pacific Disaster Center, the PCD, on November the 18th, 2022. Mr. Brian Dyer, Director of the Nevis Disaster Management Department, the NDMD, in the Nevis Island Administration, noted that Mr. Fernandez, who is the Latin American Caribbean advisor for the Pacific Disaster Center, was carrying out a national disaster preparedness baseline assessment while in the Federation. He said, and quote, his main mission was to provide public awareness to both islands and to our stakeholders with regards to the services provided at the Pacific Disaster Center located at the Hawaii University. Mr. Fernandez expounded on his mission to St. Kitts and Nevis, adding that though the center is based in Hawaii, it has a global mission, hence his position. Grateful for the visit. He can help us to enhance some of our preparedness techniques.
Definitely so. All right, this from the NIA by way of press release. Tourism stakeholders on Nevis are preparing for a robust season for 2022-2023 with more than 40 scheduled cruise calls and steady hotel reservations. On Thursday, November 17th, the Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis, Minister of Tourism in the Nevis Island Administration, announced that the first cruise ship of the season, the luxury vessel Star Flyer, is scheduled to call on Nevis on November 27th. He stated, quote, "The cruise season for us will start with our first call on November 27th, when the Star Flyer will dock in the waters off Charlestown. Between November 2022 and April 2023, we expect 47 cruise calls, which are scheduled to bring just over 18,000 visitors to our shores." End quote. The Premier reminded, however, that tourism authorities on Nevis are more focused on attracting stay-over visitors to the island, which benefits local hotels and businesses alike.
I also read that hotel bookings are going up in that island, so that's very good.
Okay, definitely so.
Indeed. Now for your local weather, it is partly cloudy with a high of 81 degrees and a low of 74 degrees Fahrenheit. As we take a short break, we will see you on the other side. Stay tuned for regional and international news.
ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16, and your daughter at 13. So girl look me, but me no in a that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue now with regional news. This from Loop Caribbean. The proposed introduction of paternity leave in Jamaica for fathers of newborns and family leave for adoptive parents bringing a new child into the home is slated to come into effect on January 1st, 2023. This was stated by the Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance and Public Service, Marsha Smith, who also advised that the proposed increase of pay, maternity leave from 40 days to 3 months will commence on January 1st. She was speaking at the Civil Service Week Public Forum at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on November 22nd. The forum was held on the theme, The Public Sector Forging Ahead with Determination. The changes are coming out of the current public sector compensation review and will be facilitated by updating the public sector staff orders of 2004. The compensation review is intended to overhaul the structure of salaries and other emoluments in the public sector. That's nice.
Yeah, these changes are coming.
Yeah, 3 months pay instead of 40 days pay, because it's rough afterwards. If pop's not working, then you gotta depend on grandma.
Okay.
Somebody else,
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right, moving on to the international news. This from the BBC. Germany players covered their mouths during the team photograph before their World Cup opener against Japan to convey the message that FIFA is silencing teams, says Hansi Flick. The gesture follows FIFA threatening players with a booking for wearing the One Love armband during games in Qatar. The captains of 7 European nations were set to wear it to promote diversity and inclusion. No disciplinary action will be taken against Germany. Head coach Flick said, quote, "It was a sign, a message that we wanted to send out. We wanted to convey the message that FIFA is silencing us," end quote. The Germany Football Federation, DFB, said on Twitter, quote, "It wasn't about making a political statement. Human rights are non-negotiable. that should be taken for granted. But it still isn't the case. That's why this message is so important to us. Denying us the armband is the same as denying us a voice. We stand by our position, end quote. Wow. It's a very compelling photograph, I have to say. Yeah. It does convey a lot. And sometimes you don't even need to say a thing. Yes. In this case, they're saying that they were silenced, but that is just as effective.
Human rights, oh my gosh, it's all of our responsibilities, and yet we treat it in such a menial way. We look at it as minor, not major, and all these things are going on. That's why Iran didn't really stand properly for their national anthem, because they're fed up with how the young lady was treated. So a lot of things are going on at this World Cup, boy.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely so. A lot of things are going on today as well.
Yes.
But for now, there you have it for the latest.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Oh, come here.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
go! Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what real happening. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Did you know that there are certain seasonings that contain more salt than you actually need? There are more natural, healthier ways to reduce the salt intake in your dishes by using natural things like onions, garlic, seasoned peppers, and even thyme and merengue powder.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. From a very early age, Marion Richards demonstrated a love for the creative arts. This was clear when he started drawing his favorite comic heroes and anime characters and learning his way around his first set of water paints. Now he is the proud owner of Richie's hand-painted crafts, and he is here to tell us all about this endeavor. Good morning, Marion, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here.
It's our pleasure indeed.
Thanks.
Alrighty, let's get right into it. So, when did you launch your business and when did you begin painting?
So, actually, I launched my business late 2019. So, first I began to sell bagged almonds to the tourists. Then, while walking along the beaches, I used to collect rocks and and then my father sent a art set for me because I used to like to draw with the pencil and everything. So the art set had in water paint, and then I used to test out the water paint on the rocks because I couldn't use it on the house or anything outside. Yes, so I used to test it out on the rocks, and then they actually turned out good. First, I did certain flags. I did Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Jamaica, Antigua, Barbados, St. Kitts, Cuba, and etc.
Okay. So did you sell those as well?
No, I didn't sell those. The ones that I sold were actually from a later batch because that's when I actually got more paint and more into it.
Okay.
So earlier I used to do it for fun and used to do it for pleasure, but now I'm actually doing it as a business.
Okay,
Nice.
so you're very impressive for a 14-year-old. And we were talking about the launch of your business, but you had another business before. You talked about the almond selling and so on. What made you get into selling in the first place?
What made me get into selling? Just, thinking about buying myself stuff. Like as a child always wants money and a child always wants to buy stuff. So then I started thinking about if I can get my own money, I can make my own money. So then I used to go by my aunt's house and they has a big almond tree. So I used to pick the almonds, bag them, and then while the tourists come up on the bus or on the taxi or on the little taxi thing that has the, yes,
The safari.
yes, I used to come and sell it to them, and I used to teach them how to pound out the almonds so that they could get the actual almond inside.
Oh, I thought you actually did all of that work and then sold it to the tourists. I didn't realize you. Oh, so you sold it to them whole.
Yes.
Oh, so they know exactly where it came from. Wow.
Brilliant, Marion, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right, so is it true that you learned not to paint on the house by painting on the house? I really want to know, did you try to paint on the house at first?
Well, yes, I did, but I got caught and got punished.
What did you paint on the house? Nobody else is listening, it's just me and Cretense here.
Well, I didn't actually paint it on it. I was going to, but...
Oh, somebody stopped you and was that Mom?
Yes.
Okay, I can tell by the laughter. All right.
Other than wanting to get money, right, for yourself, what was the biggest reason that you launched your business?
For me, in general, it's like kind of a mindset that I love to sell and love to, feel happy. And most business people, when they sell their products or the stuff that they make, they feel happy.
Yes.
They feel, purpose and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. You're on your purpose.
Well, you're talking about feeling happy. All right, so as you can tell, we took a little break here to compose ourselves. We're back with Marion, and he's going to tell us exactly what the reaction has been like from people who buy this wonderful product that I'm holding in my hand right now.
Yes. So actually, people actually love my products. They buy them. They told me that the prices are reasonable. They love the product. They love my designs. And some gave me a few tips, like having a poster. So when I'm going to sell and I set up my little table, I have a poster so that the people could see and the people could see what I do as well. And I'm actually getting some stickers from a company so I could put at the back of my product so that they can see my logo and my name.
Nice. You said nickname?
Yes.
Oh, what's that nickname?
Richie. I actually got that name from my primary school teacher, Mr. Pemberton. And because my last name is Richards, so he just shortened it.
Richie rhymes with Richie Rich.
I was about to say, you have great ideas, Richie Rich. Can we call you that? You mind anybody calling you that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I won't call you that. I'll just call you Richie. All right, so let's talk about exactly where you sell. I was listening to you speak just now. You talked about setting up a table. You talked about the poster. So you're still on the roadside?
Well, yes.
Okay, so where exactly do you sell?
Opposite the War Memorial.
Opposite the War Memorial, okay. And how often are you there? I know you're in school right now, so
yes,
what times are you there?
As you can see, the cruise ships has been coming in frequently. So on the weekends, since I can't go during school, on the weekends I go, I set up, I sell to the tourists, and I make a lot of money.
Nice.
That's great. I'm going to come for you. I'm going to come, well, not come for you. Come to you when I need a loan. I'm not going to come for you, God.
He's coming for a loan. He's coming. So Richie, what's next for you in painting? I see you have a lot of Christmas paintings here. Do you paint according to the season or you just did these because it's December?
Yes, I paint according to the season.
Oh, nice.
I paint other than rocks. I paint phone cases, I paint pencil cases, and I paint a bottle. So I did a custom bottle for me and a few orders for other people.
All right, let's talk about your customer bases. I know that you say you set up for tourists and so on. Do you have a lot of local customers?
Yes. So I have my number, so you can call me, you can make an order, you can place an order, and everything.
All right, that's your camera. Tell us the number.
663-4022.
663-4022. And on that note, we'll be back with Marion after this. Stay tuned.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Hi. If you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen?
Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are in the presence of Marion Richards, the 14-year-old entrepreneur, sole owner, I just confirmed, of Richie's Hand Painted Crafts. Yeah. So Marion, you're going to be giving us a demonstration as to how you can create one of your interesting crafts. We've had some on display before, so you can get started. And we're going to be talking to you as you do it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So Marion is here drawing, and we're going to be watching what he's doing and still conversing with him. I was asking you, Marion, when you told me that you were the sole owner, I said, so what does mom get? You know, what does mom get? Does mom get paid?
Yes, she does.
All right. I know that she said that she gets management fees. Do you think that she's due for a raise?
Yes.
You're saying that because she's here, aren't you? Because if she wasn't here, you wouldn't say that mom was due for a raise.
Yes, I said she's due.
Oh, wow. She's a hard worker. Okay. So is it just your mom that helps you, or just you and your mom?
No, my father helps me.
Your father helps you too? Okay, so family business. Great way to start.
So how often do you go to the beach to pick up the stones?
When I get the time to, most times, because I have a little bit by me, so I just drive down there.
You drive down or somebody drives you down?
Well, somebody
Okay,
drives
I'm
me
just
down.
making sure, you know. Because since he's an entrepreneur at 14, maybe he got his license early too, so I just have to make sure.
Hey, don't let Cortensia get you into any trouble, okay? Don't confess anything on live television that's going to make the police come for you, okay?
Yes.
All right, so what are you drawing?
Actually, I'm drawing Santa Claus.
Okay, so right in the Christmas spirit. I love it. Now, I'm guaranteeing you, Marion, that I'm not going to steal any of your secrets. I'm actually not an artist. Hortensia, on the other hand, you need to watch out for. So maybe I should come and cover your drawing because she might want to see exactly
I
what you're
have
doing.
no time. My
Okay.
days are taken up. Marion, what does your art teacher at school think about what you do?
Well, Mr. Joseph actually, well, I don't actually show him a lot of it. I just keep it to myself.
Okay.
And then you show it when it's done.
Yes.
Okay, so we can't wait to see what you have here. Already I see the makings of a mustache. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's exactly the model that Marion is trying to draw here. And I keep calling you a Marion in my head because I joked with you a little while ago, asking you if people
wants
ever
him to be a
confuse you with
singer.
the singer, and you were like, no, not yet. But I'm like, hey, maybe sooner. Do you sing?
No.
No. Okay, what else do you do? Because I know that you're a business person. What other hobbies do you have?
Other hobbies, I have taekwondo. I am a part of the BHS cheerleading team. Go Summers.
All right, yeah. I told you, yeah.
I used to go to the Leap SKN.
Uh-huh.
Okay, nice.
All right, that's great. Yeah, you said Go Stormers. I was telling you before, Cortensia and I both went to Bastyr High School.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great experience.
Look at us being alumni. Oh my gosh. But we're not middle-aged yet. Don't worry.
I don't know what she's talking about, Marianne. I'm just focused on you, okay?
Yeah.
Like I said, don't let her steal your stuff. So how long does this typically take you to draw?
This typically takes me about 2 minutes or a minute.
Oh, so we're keeping you back now.
It depends on the complexity of the drawing or the amount of paint that I have to use.
Okay. So at this point, I think I'm going to let the hush be over the crowd. Is that even doable? Can we do that? No, I think we're just distracting him. Right, Cortensia?
I don't think so.
Well, Marion, Marion. I keep saying that. I'm thinking, well, you're a star
He's
anyway.
not
so
the
I'm thinking,
singer.
yeah,
He's a star in his own right.
you're a star. I was going to call you Richie. That'd be a great way to remember that I need to come for you.
Exactly, Richie.
Oh, wow. This is already shaping up so nicely.
Is this your favorite part of it?
Yes.
When you're drawing, do you normally use like a template? Or do you just draw it from memory and then you plan something out and you go?
Sometimes for the first time I use an image in front of me, then I draw it. Then after I have done it multiple times and over, the picture
Becomes easier.
sticks. Yes.
Okay, great. I feel like we're depriving our viewers of some of the things that Marion has drawn, so why don't I just focus on that for a little bit while you guys
The Christmas
continue
spirit.
to watch him draw.
Imagine having a bowl of those on your counter. Is this one? Here's
Yeah,
this
is
one too.
beautiful.
Nice.
Bluish. Oh, here it is, yeah.
This one is cute.
I love it. Does anybody else notice the effects that we have on the stone here? It's wonderful. Like snow.
Exactly. And look at this snowman. This one is cute as well. This guy.
Nobody can ever steal your secret. I don't know how you became so talented to even think of something like this. I mean, this is just so incredible, Marian. How much do your parents support you?
100%.
100%. But that's always great. That's always great. I think creativity is one of those things that needs to be harnessed. And when I see young people like you doing that with the support of their parents, the sky's the limit for me.
Yes, indeed.
So I expect great things from you. Plus, it's fun, which is even better. It's not boring, like, you're not sitting at a desk doing yada, yada, yada. You're literally doing whatever your mind can conceive.
So what is the career that you hope to pursue, Marian, in after school?
So after school, I was planning on being an YouTuber.
Okay.
Wow, okay, how soon are you going to get started in that?
When I get the money to buy my camera.
Okay, great. Well, you know what? This is a great learning experience for you because you're in front of cameras right now, and I think you're killing it.
Yeah, he is killing it indeed.
So maybe if mom can delay her increase, you can get the camera sooner, you know, perhaps. Don't let the scare you, okay? It scares me, but don't let mom scare you. That is just, I mean, you got to know what you're doing when you're doing things like this. You got your brush and you've got, I was never any good at art. So when I see somebody being so intricate, I have to say kudos to you for doing that.
I got good once I started doing the sipping things, but prior to that, I wasn't an artist.
If you see what Marian is doing, he's just really painting around the border right now. So he's got, you know, I guess you'll see it as he turns it, and I like the way that he's doing it. He's not moving around it. The stone is moving around him, which is great. And that adds a certain level of detail. And I can see how you got that done now that I'm looking at what you did. And it's actually quite ingenious because I'm looking at the template that you have here, and I realized for the very first time that the drawing that you just made takes up less than half of the stone.
Yes.
So that's brilliant. The colors make up for the other part. And if I look at it again very closely, especially the one that I had in my hand before of the snowman, it's just a repetition of shapes. Yet when they come together, it's just so phenomenal. I love it. So this one, I think, if I had to draw one, Hortensia, it would be this one because it's just,
easy.
It's circles, right? I can't mess this up ever.
Not at all. Not
So
at
it's
all.
circles, 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 and paint.
And paint.
I love it. I love it.
So I noticed some of your stones don't have your initial at the back. I know you said you're going to import your stickers to put it on the back. Will you ever consider painting your initials in the back?
Yes, yes, I did, and I need to do it again.
Okay.
Because I was waiting on the stickers to come so that, you know, just slap them.
I like that.
You know,
to slap them.
we didn't ask you what the biggest stone is that you painted it. I know that this is like the normal size, right? But what's the biggest stone? Have you gotten, you know, like a gigantic boulder or anything to paint? Or would you like to?
Yes, I would like to, but the only biggest one that I have painted were doorstops.
Doorstops. Hey, that's very, I love that idea. I love that idea. I could see you literally painting. I don't know if I want to give you an idea or what, but you know, you get like a family portrait or something and you just put it on a little door stopper and everybody who comes to that door knows this is who lives here.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that's sweet, Jimmy. That's a nice idea.
And I won't accept royalties, Mom. You can get your increase. It's quite all right. So what's the most interesting thing that you've painted? The interesting design.
Actually, it's a dragon that I did, and it came out good, but it wasn't just a normal dragon. It was a donut-shaped dragon, so it was a little bit complex, but I got it done.
I can imagine when you say donut-shaped, you're talking about rings. So yes. And you had
Go ahead, Jimmy.
you had the layering on that dragon, right? The colors, everything coming together. Was that for Halloween?
No, that was just something that I did because first I drew it out on paper. Well, I drew it out twice actually, and then decided to do it.
So when you're thinking of new designs, something that comes to your mind, how long does it take you from, you know, conceiving it to putting it on a stone as a finished product?
Mostly it takes me 5 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
On the complexity of the drawing or how I have to draw it.
I'm not even asking you what your favorite subject is in school. I kind of think that I might know what it is, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What is your favorite subject?
Visual arts.
I thought so. It had to be.
Yep.
Because you're such a masterful artist.
Yep.
Oh, now we're starting to get the color on it. Great. I feel like we should have been helping you all along, and then you just laugh at our design. Do you teach people how to do this, by the way?
No, actually, I don't.
No.
Is that
Keeping it to
something?
himself.
Is that something you think you might want to do? I don't know. There might be a market for it, especially if you become a YouTuber, and you can get fans from all over the world.
Yes. Yes.
Might be.
Good. I like that.
This is shaping up so nicely.
Yeah, indeed.
You're making me believe, Marion, that I can find my hidden artist. And that's not easy to do, I can tell you that right now. If you've seen some of the things that I've drawn, you'd say you need to hide it under a rock, no pun intended. Don't let it come out, all right?
Well, that's nice though. I like how the Santa hat is shaping up.
There's a whole level of detail here, and we haven't even begun to talk about the pricing. I know that you said they're reasonable. Any idea? Are you willing to tell us how much they cost?
So for the doorstops, it's 50 because it's big and the amount of paint that I have to use.
15?
Yes.
EC or US?
Yes, 15 EC.
EC, okay.
And for the paperweight, it's 10 because like this, it's a little bit. And I have little decorative ornaments.
Okay.
And I have sets as well.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Do you have a Facebook page so that we can go to see some of the things that you have?
I am actually working on it right now.
Okay, great.
I am getting it set up. In the meanwhile, I am doing this. So you can call and order.
Okay.
All right. And again, just in case somebody missed that number, I know.
It is 663-4022.
4022. 663-4022.
Your doorstops and your paperweights. Help you with that.
It's just fascinating to me, Marion, that somebody like you, 14 years old, could turn an idea, things that, children do just for fun, into a business.
Yeah.
And it's such a unique business.
Exactly.
And there is a market for it. I mean, this is what we talk about, I guess, when we talk about, diversifying. Yes, we're into tourism and all of that, but you're still, giving the visitors something that was uniquely created in St. Kitts and Nevis by a 14-year-old. I can imagine the conversations that they have when they head back to where they came from. It's like, I bought this from a 14-year-old on the side of the road in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yep.
This is great. Absolutely great. And the level of detail, I can tell you, Marion, it's just a joy to watch you.
Yeah, it's work.
Literally, I would pay for this in and of itself. And fortunately, I don't have to pay for it because I get to watch it for free, right? But I would literally pay for this just to watch you. So this would be like a class setting.
So, Marion, we have two stones here. I know time, we wish we had lots more with you, but time is of the essence. Can you tell us about these two stones?
So these two stones were actually custom made. You guys.
Oh.
They are Good Morning SKN and Studios.
Okay, I'll hold this one. And
Look
you hold
at
the other one.
that. Oh, this is so sweet. It has on the cockadoodle and all. This is gorgeous. So how long did this one take you?
7 minutes.
7 minutes? No way. Wow.
I will never look at rocks the same way again.
I
I'll
know.
never look at stones the same way again.
Every time I go on the beach and I see a stone, I'll think about Marion.
You're thinking about Marion. I'm going to be thinking about money. I'm going to be thinking about Richie here.
You see money, Richie, you see Marion rhymes, Marion and money can go together?
Thank you
Oh,
so
nice.
much,
Yes,
Marion. This
indeed.
is incredible. And we're going to let you paint all the way into the break. But thank you so much for coming by, sharing with us, about your
You can show them how this
business,
is shaping up.
letting mom know on air that she's going to get a raise at some point, and that we can look for you on YouTube eventually and on Facebook. Pleasure to meet you, Mariam.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
having me here, and thank you for supporting my business.
Absolutely.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
More Good Morning SKN in a flash. Stay tuned.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes.
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
It's Thanksgiving. Well, at least in the United States it is, right? Yeah. And though this holiday is primarily celebrated, well, it celebrates the harvest season rather, I'm getting excited, it's an annual reminder to be grateful for things both big and small. And that's true because we're talking about thankfulness. So did you know that there are many different ways cultures around the world celebrate Thanksgiving? In the segment of Around the World, where's my free ticket? We'll be taking a look at how different countries celebrate Thanksgiving or the harvest season. Yeah. So join us for what is sure to be an educational journey. And again, I'm looking for my ticket. Where's my boarding pass, guys?
Lost in translation.
All right, well, we're going to the U.S. in the first instance anyway, so it's lost. No?
Lost in translation.
All right.
But it's funny enough that they mention harvest. And now I understand how they correlate. Because churches normally have the harvest, we bring everything that we would have grown that is fully developed, and we put it at the altar. I never realized it. I learned that today, years old.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, there's that correlation.
Every day is a learning process, yeah.
So our passports are going to be stamped.
You got your visa? Make sure you have a visa.
I'm waiting for the free ticket.
Yeah,
Guys.
But then you have to have the visa even if you get the free ticket so that we don't get turned back.
That's never going to happen once Studio 327 stamps it.
All right, we got power. So Thanksgiving is celebrated on the 4th Thursday of November in the United States and can be traced back to 1620. You know, Canada started celebrating Thanksgiving 40 years before the US, so Canada is a boss. I learned that.
I think the Canadians would be glad that you said that, eh?
Hey.
All right, so the holiday was observed for centuries before President Abraham Lincoln officially announced the National Thanksgiving Day in 1863.
Yep.
So you observe it, but then you officially announce it.
Yes, indeed. So in American households, the celebration is all about cooking and sharing meals with family and friends. Turkey is a staple dish so much that it has become inseparable from the American holiday.
I'm not going to say a thing.
But as I said,
I'm not going to say a thing about turkey.
Look at a poor turkey in the middle there, like.
Back in February, I made a comment about a certain photo shoot that I wanted to see at Thanksgiving time. I'm not going to say it if you guys want to know what I said. Go back to February where we had a special guest that was on for the 100th episode that I missed. And I talked about a photo shoot.
He asked Mr. Turkey Killer, according to Naeem, that, well, he told him, or he advised him to have him do a Thanksgiving photo shoot.
I suggested that
I can't wait to see the pictures.
He should do it.
I can't wait to see the pictures.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there's a local artist here called Turkey Killer. And so I told him, he had a photo shoot for Valentine's Day. Why don't you do one for Thanksgiving? That might seem more appropriate if you do. Anyway.
Jamie is trying to kill our turkey.
You have a guy on the show by the name of Turkey Killer and you're accusing me of killing turkey?
Oh
I don't understand what's going on here.
Oh my God. Well, if he takes a picture, then he has to be dressed up looking like a turkey.
No, he doesn't have
to be stuffed and everything.
No, he doesn't have to be.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
He is the name. He is the brand, Turkey Killer. Yeah, that's a joke that we're never going to get tired of hearing. All right, we're going to Canada. The first Thanksgiving was celebrated in Canada in 1578. That's 40 years before the American Thanksgiving holiday, as you said.
So it is celebrated every year on the second Monday in October. Most provinces observe a long weekend to enjoy the celebrations with a commemorative feast on Thanksgiving Day. So they celebrate a month before the U.S.
What is it about meals that make people thankful? Are we thankful that we're being fed? Or is it just a time for us to come together and be like, we're thankful that we're all together and we're going to stuff our faces?
Yeah, I guess because we don't normally get to come together all the time. Because we always say grace at our meals, right? Only when we get a little older, we kind of forget. And then during the meal, we'd be like, oh, Lord, sorry, thank you, but I was hungry. Making an excuse like the Lord don't know already.
Okay.
But I mean, the coming together, I think, is the biggest part of Thanksgiving. Because families flying from all over the U.S. just to be together on this day.
We get stuck in traffic just because. We get delayed just because. We arrive after Thanksgiving just because we were heading there for Thanksgiving.
You missed the meal?
It happens when you've got delays. You've got cancellations.
Yeah, but I think that's the biggest thing, coming together. Chongqing Moon Festival. This is in China. Oh, so they have a moon festival on Thanksgiving. The celebrations as a festival in Chinese culture became popular during the Tang Dynasty, that's 1618 to 907 CE.
Legend indicates that the Emperor Xuanzong, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, of Tang organized formal celebrations in his palace after he explored the Moon Palace, which is how this festival started.
Observed on the 15th day of the 8th lunar cycle of the year, Chinese families meet for a 3-day feast featuring mooncakes containing duck egg yolks, lotus seed paste, and sesame seeds. I'll try it once.
And today, the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival is celebrated by worshipping the moon, lighting paper lanterns, and eating mooncakes. Those paper lanterns, I think that's the part that I am most familiar with. They look beautiful when they're in the air.
Look at that. Paper, huh?
This is awesome.
Dragon. I really want to know if those types of dragons existed back then, or if it's just the imagination of a Chinese individual from way back. Because I would have loved to actually see them. Oh, they make them look so realistic in the films that we watch. I would love to see if they were real.
This is all very interesting to me.
Yeah. So the Chongqing Moon Festival.
All right, we're going to China, guys. Get the tickets ready.
Ticket?
I'm serious. If you guys say we're going to China, we'll go to China. For now, we're going to
India.
Yeah, South India.
South India, Pongal.
Pongal is a 4-day celebration which features different versions of harvest festivals, each day celebrated with a distinct ceremony. Oh, this is interesting.
On the first day, unwanted belongings are discarded in a large fire. A Pongal dish is prepared on the second day. A traditional form of kolam is drawn on the third day, and a ritual of women praying for their brothers' prosperities occurs on the fourth day. I like the first day. That should be.
You lost me after the first day, I'm being honest. I was lost.
So the first day you throw away all your unwanted stuff. The second day you cook the pot. The third day, I forgot. And the fourth day you pray for your brother.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, you know.
Okay, the second day you draw. The third day is the pot. No, the third day is...
There you go. You see that?
No, the third day... Wait.
The third
Hold on. So the first day, you throw out everything in the fire. And then...
Kolam is drawn on the third day.
Because the second day, you prepare the pot. A dish is prepared on the second day. Then you draw on the third day. And then you pray for your brothers on the fourth day.
All right.
Yeah. Nice. Look at the pot. The pot isn't big enough to feed everybody, sir. But look again. You see that? I don't know if you... Well, you should know. But harvest, they always have the cane tied up like that. Look at that again. It's like our cultures are so intertwined. But then again, from slavery, these folks came to the Caribbean, so we got some of their culture into ours.
Indentured servant, yeah.
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 To Germany.
We're going to Germany and that wonderful festival, which I
Erntedank.
Really?
Yeah, Erntedankfest. Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
I see.
Yeah. Like Ernie.
All right.
Erntedankfest has been celebrated for thousands of years. It originated as a rural festival to celebrate the harvest. Today, even though machines are used for harvesting, people still give thanks and celebrate the festival. Yeah, because we're still harvesting, we're still thankful. We would have cared for the plants. They're now grown up. That word, Erntedankfest.
I'm not even sure that's how you say it.
Okay. We're gonna
That's exactly why I didn't say it. But anyway. All righty.
Erntedankfest is mostly observed by religious and rural groups. There is no official day for celebration as the festivities vary across the country during mid-September or October. So not the Thanksgiving celebration in October.
We're still in Germany, by the way,
Yeah,
due to
we're
its
still.
religious sentiments. It is celebrated by both Christian and Protestant churches, which includes a church service, a parade, and a presentation of a harvest crown to a harvest queen.
Nice. See? At the altar. Oh,
Does
yeah.
anybody realize that if that's pumpkin, it looks like it has eyes and a nose at the top? Right.
Top right.
Even has hair on the top.
Oh, yes. It looks like a Muslim pumpkin.
So
But
they
somebody
actually put
draw some eyes
yeah,
in
they
it.
did. Yeah.
And put on his little hat to say thank you to God. He look like a Jewish pumpkin. That's a Jewish pumpkin. You really got 2020, man. You saw that from that far. That had to be zoomed for me because I'm looking like, no, that's my left. This is my right. Yeah. Nice. Japan. Kinro Kansha Noai. Speak a little Japanese. The first holiday celebration in Japan dates back to 678 AD to welcome the harvest season. However, as Japan evolved from an agricultural country to an industrial one, the celebrations moved from honoring farmers to honoring workers. Aren't farmers
All right.
workers too?
Special events are organized to celebrate the holiday, such as the Nagano Labor Festival, which recognizes the environment, peace, and human rights.
Nice. The other is the Nagano Ibisuko Fireworks Festival, displaying the most spectacular fireworks I could only imagine, because they have it all. Yeah, look at the worker. Nice.
Reminds me of the fireworks that we had here the other day that
Pyrotechnic. That don't burn.
that we saw.
Yeah. Now we go to Korea. So, Chuseok. I'm trying here. Chuseok. The origins of the festival can be traced back to the history of Korea when it was an agrarian society.
The legend describes the festival originating with an ancient king, Silla, who started a month-long weaving competition and treated the winning team with food, drinks, and gifts from the losing team. Sounds like Survivor to me.
Today, the Korean community gathers to give thanks and to celebrate Harvest Festival by offering rituals to the ancestors on the 15th day of August according to the lunar calendar.
And families come together a night before to prepare rice cakes as a bonding activity, followed by offering gifts to family and friends.
Oh, nice.
If you have nothing better to do with a year of your life, travel to these different places
Yes, an experience.
for the holiday times.
Enough food, eh? That's all I'm thinking about.
And you get immersed in the culture as well.
Yes. Dress up. He looks like an Amish Korean with the hat.
I don't even know if there's
Yeah.
such a thing.
And I see we have the Caribbean here, Barbados. Oh, crop over is Barbados' way of Thanksgiving. Okay. At the end of the sugarcane harvest season, Bajans experience the crop over festival for around 6 weeks to 3 months. This 300-year-old tradition goes back to those who worked on sugarcane plantations and began to celebrate the harvest season. So it's all about harvest.
The celebrations include singing, dancing, drinking competitions. Drinking competitions. I was going to pause at drinking. I thought it was drinking and then there are competitions, but no, there are drinking competitions. All right. Feasting and an interesting competition to climb up a greased pole, because everybody wants to do that. Just kidding.
But here, it's fun.
I know that.
Yeah, the guys go on the grease pole to get the turkey. 'Cause that's our Christmas thing here. Well, no, Easter.
They go on the grease pole to get a turkey, and I remember how we began the segment, and I now know how we're going to wrap it. That's it. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate. More GMSKN in a moment.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Robert Frost said, "Poetry is when an emotion has found thought, and the thought has found words. For centuries, poetry has been used as a popular form of expression, providing a platform for persons to convey their emotions with depth. Welcome, Christine Clark, a local poet, to Good Morning SKN. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
To Good Morning SKN.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Oh, a pleasure having you indeed. When did you realize that you were gifted with the gift of poetry, and when did you begin penning what was in your head?
Well, I started writing poetry a very, very long time ago, since I was a little girl, actually, in school.
Nice.
And I did not know it was a gift. I just know that I love to write. I would write on anything that comes to mind. And wherever I am, it could be a piece of cardboard, a piece of toilet paper, anything. As long as thoughts come to my mind, I would just start to write. And it's been a very, very long time, you know. Then I didn't realize I was a poet until, like, you know, I not just like to write, but didn't realize it was such a talent until about 2001 or thereabout. One of my daughters came to me with a school project, and she said, "Mommy, could you please help me, you know, do this school project?" And I said, "Oh, you know." But then she kept telling me, and I said, "Okay, let me just do it." And that's where it started. That was about 2001. She was doing a school project on St. Kitts. She was like advertising St. Kitts, or, you know, let's say selling it, you know, if you know what I mean. And I wrote that poem, but not really a poem. It was just like wrote something. And the teachers asked her, "Well, who did this? This is, you know, really good." And she actually won whatever she was doing. She won the competition. And then I took it to a teacher, and he said, "This is good. You need to go further with this, you know." So I took the piece to Ministry of, I think, Tourism, because I thought this is where I should go. And then they said, "No, go to Ministry of Culture," which I went, and I went there. And what's her name? Meredith Warner, I think it's Meredith Warner Phipps from Sandy Point. She's the one who encouraged me, you know, she pushed me, and she told me there's a program at ZSZ called Peace of My Mind, and she's going to put me in there. And the rest is history.
Oh, nice,
Yes.
nice.
It's always interesting to speak to writers, especially local writers, but you're a local poet.
Yes.
And so the question that I have is poetry a dying art, or are you actually reviving it? I guess it's skewed to say that maybe young people are not really so in tune with poetry these days. What are your observations?
Yeah, I don't think that young people are into poetry. And I think they should, because poetry is therapeutic. It brings out what is inside. And so many people are going through things. Everybody going through something. And believe you me, writing helps. It has helped me. Sometimes you might be going through a situation and you don't know what to do. Some people turn to eating, they get depressed and all kind of things. But if you pick up a pen and a piece of paper, and you don't even know what you're writing, just write. Just write whatever comes to your mind. Even if you have to cry tears, as I have done many times, you know, writing and crying, because it brings out what is inside of you. And so that is what I would say, that they should get into it. You know, instead of getting into drugs and things that are going to put them in trouble, get into writing. Open up your, what you call it? I can't find the word right there, but just write, do something, you know, just write. Say what is inside of you. Bring it out. You don't know who it can help.
So does your, sorry, please go.
You know, you might have a situation that you are going through. Somebody else is going through the same thing. But by you speaking out in terms of writing, it could help that person overcome their situation.
So I want to ask, does your greatest work come from that place where you don't even know what you're writing, you're just writing for therapy? Is that your experience?
Well, that was once upon a time. You know, I would just write. Like I said, I started very young in school, and I would just write. Anything that comes to mind, I would just write. But then I said, you know what? Let me channel my writing to the spiritual side. So I channeled my writing into writing more uplifting, you know, like spiritually uplifting poems. Poems that would, when you read it, it leaves something in your spirit, you know. It uplifts you. So if you were down, you feel more revived, you know. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Well, it does, because when Cortensi asked you the initial question, my take on that question was poetry a calling for you, or did poetry call out to you?
Well, to be honest, I don't know how to put it, but ever since I was small, right? My father told me I would become the pen of a ready writer. I had no idea what he was saying. Oh, wow. Because I was little. And yes, he did. He said, you're going to become the pen of a ready writer. You are determined, you know, and I am. Nice. And lo and behold, I have become the pen of a ready writer because I love to write. Poetry is my passion. Yes.
I see there's a book there.
Yes.
How long did it take for this book to come into fruition?
Well, actually, the book...
I'll hold it up.
Yes. The poems, what happened? I wrote the poems like over time. Okay. Over time, I would just, as I said, I like to write. So I would just write and write and write and have the poems there, like, you know, in archives, if you want to call it that. And then in 2008, 2009, I think, I got a call from a friend of mine who told me that she got Selza to help me with a book. So nice. I got the poems to her. And let's say I started in October of 2008 or 2009. I think it was October of 2009 I started sending the poems to her. And by March or April of 2010, the book was there. Mm-hmm.
Who came up with the name and all? You did, or
this is very interesting now. In 2005, I was very sick. I had surgery and I was sick. I was unable to walk and I was there. But one day I managed to go into the kitchen. And while I'm going into the kitchen, I happened to look at the cupboards. And looking at the cupboards, I saw something just flash in front of me, like the cover of a book. And this is 2005. And on it, I saw, reach out, give praise. Actually, the cover, just so you, oh God, could you hold the book?
Yeah.
Just so you see the book is. Yeah. The cover of the book, exactly what I saw, except for the top here, it had some hands going up like praising God.
Okay.
You know? And I didn't think much of it. I just said, okay. But, you know, I took note of it, but I just let it slide.
Okay.
You know, but then to find out, years after, the opportunity came for me to write a book. And this is the topic. Reach out, give praise. Nice. Yes.
Poems for inspiration.
Yes.
I have a question for you, but I see that we're due for commercials, so I'll hold my question until we come back. More with Christine in a moment. Stay tuned.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
We're
are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are speaking with local poet Christine Clark. I have the book in my hand, and I can't tell you what is being conveyed to me right now as I hold it. Poems for Inspiration is what you have at the bottom of it, just before your name.
Yes.
And the question that I wanted to ask you is that word, inspiration. You've written books. People have read the books.
Yes.
What have they said to you about how you've given them inspiration based on the text in these books?
Okay. I've received many, many messages, phone calls about my poems, how they have blessed people. Some people would say, did you and God have a talk about me? I would say yes. God knows you, He knows me. They would say, because this poem that you sent me, or you just wrote, and I just read it, it speaks to me. It has uplifted me. I was feeling down, and the words in the poem, put a light in my step, and I feel so good. Actually, I've received calls from people who said they thought of committing suicide. And that doesn't sit well with me. No. That word suicide does not sit well with me. And they said because they read something that I wrote, God put, I would say God put them to read it. It has stopped them from committing suicide. Really.
Did they tell you what that line was, what those words were, or did they just tell you generally, you know what, it's something that you wrote?
No, they just said the poem, the entire poem, because my poems are, from the time you begin to read, you don't want to stop. They follow a sequence. Okay. It's not just like any old thing, because it's not me. It's the Holy Spirit that is directing me, because some of my poems are very long, and some could be short, because as I get it, I write it. And when I reach a point, it just cut off. I can't. Even if I try, I can't do anymore. Yeah. So yes, the poems are very, very inspirational, very uplifting. And like I said, I've received calls, people who would say, I wanted to end my life. I thought that there was no hope. And they would read a poem and it helps them. Yeah.
So poetry called you.
Yeah.
I got my answer.
There's actually one poem in the book called Be Encouraged. And I wrote it for a lady. She was really going through. She was crying and she was going through. Said her family didn't like her and everything was falling apart. And I was at work at that time, and I sat down. I said, okay, I have to do something to help this lady. And I sat down and I started writing. And by the time I finished, I went and I spoke to her, and she felt so good. She felt different. She said, thank you. And I said, to God be the glory. And even up to this day, if she would meet me on the street, she would say, that poem, I remember that poem that you wrote for me. It helped me so much. And I feel so good about it. And I give God the glory, because He's the one who is giving me the what you call it now, these inspiration. He's the one who's giving me these things to write, I'm not doing it on my own. Yes.
Indeed. Now, you mentioned overcoming being unable to walk twice. Mm-hmm. How did your poems help you? Can you walk us through that?
Okay. I remember I had an accident, and it damaged my shoulder, it broke my hand, damaged my back, damaged my feet. I had to have surgery. And I was unable to walk for a while. Actually, I used the wheelchair, I used Pampers, I used a walking stick. It was that bad. I was really, really down, but God brought me through. Anyway, one morning, I was in the bed lying down, and I heard a song on somebody's radio, one of the neighbors' radio, and it goes like this. I've got confidence, God's gonna see me through. I've got confidence, God's gonna see me through. And I said, wait, I can do something with that. So I called my son, because as I said, I was unable to walk. And I said, Andrew, come here. His name is Andrew. I said, come here. I got to write something. The song is, calling me, appealing to me. Could you please take me up and put me in the front room by the computer that I can write? And he came and he lifted me up. I mean, literally took me out of the bed like a baby, lift me up and put me in the chair. Now, at the time, the right hand, I'm right-handed. My right hand is broken. I can't walk. So I have to be sitting in the chair like, what do you call it, slouch? Slouch, yeah. Slouching in the chair, using my left hand. And there's a that was a laptop, it was a computer, the computer
the
desk.
desktops, yeah.
And there I am, with my left hand, taking my elbow and doing the space it. It was very difficult, but I was determined to get it out, and I'm doing it with my right hand, this my elbow, and I'm using my left hand awkwardly because I'm right-handed, typing. But out of that, I got a poem, and it's in this book, and it's called Be Confident. It's right in my book. Isn't it? Yes, it's in the book.
Listen.
Don't know if you want me to do a little piece of it.
Well, you're going to read something for us, so if that's the one that you want to read.
No, the one that I want to read is actually about abuse of women, as we are celebrating it tomorrow. Correct. But I was just saying that because that poem is the one that really took me to the States, to America, where I entered a competition. Actually, I was the only one from St. Kitts and Nevis. We had over 1,800 poets competing, and I was the only one from St. Kitts and Nevis, And Ministry of Culture helped me, Mr. Clayton Pension, he was the one who helped me. And I said, I want to be an ambassador when I go out there. I don't just want to be just another poet. I want to stand out. So I told them, because they presented the clothes, I said, I want to wear the national flag. So I went by Sun Island Clothes, and I got them to make me a suit with the national flag. And I had on my headpiece, the shoes and everything. So I said, when somebody look at me, they must see St. Kitts and Nevis. And they surely did.
I love the patriotism.
Yes.
There's so much energy and spirituality coming from you, and the labor of love that you put into this. It doesn't even seem like love. Yes. To go through something so traumatic and turn that into something that inspires so many people. I can't tell you how honored I am to have you here with us talking about your experiences today.
I feel honored too.
All right, so the poem that you're going to read for us concerning abuse of women, you said it's in the...
Yes.
All right. Okay. You can find it for us? Yes. Wow. Your poem spans so many different issues, it seems, and it seems like we can find one just for about anything.
Just about anything. Just about anything, you can find a poem in here. I have, let me just say this. There are over 100 poems in this book. I have poems for encouragement and inspiration, poems on love, and yes, I do write love poems. Very, very witty love poems. Yes, for like weddings, I also write poems for birthdays.
Really?
And like funerals as well,
Okay.
So, and then I have poems on mother, youth, being a prison officer. I had a lot of interaction with young people, so I have quite a few poems in here that I wrote during my time there as a prison officer, where I wrote poems to encourage the young people that were there, to let them know that being in prison is not the end of the world.
Correct.
People in the Bible went to prison too, like Paul and Silas. They came out. So I encouraged them, by talking to them, writing poems for them, actually. And Then I wrote poems on Christmas and health. So quite a vast,
Yes.
amount of poems in here. Yes.
So are you ready to recite the poem that you're going to recite in anticipation of tomorrow?
Yes, eradicate the abuse of power.
All right, so that is your camera. You look directly into it and you read.
This one?
Yes.
Eradicate the abuse of women. Eradicate the abuse of women. It is time to eradicate the abuse of women and regard them as precious gems. Women, in the mighty name of Jesus, tear down the mountain of defeat. You are not to be trampled under men's feet. You were created to be men's helpmate. You are not to be treated like a doormat, punching bag, and dirt, with whom men think they can have a casual fling or flirt. You are not to be used for convenience when better can't be done, then laughed at and pushed aside when men have had their fun. Women, you must set boundaries and adhere to them. Reach out and seek help when there's a problem. Don't keep quiet and become victims. Help to prevent another tragedy. By speaking out, you can avoid insanity. Women, you must not allow men to slap you around or kick you to the ground. Come to Jesus. He is the Savior and He can turn things around. Women, why do you choose to stay in an abusive relationship? Why do you entertain black eyes, burst lips, and a broken hand, leg, or hip? Women, don't make excuses or compromise. You are taking a big risk and endangering your lives. In public, don't pretend that all is well, and behind closed doors, you are catching hell. Speak out, state your case to the Department of Gender Affairs. Stop coddling the wrong because of pride, shame, and fear. Such lead to serious consequences of separation and death. These are followed by much pain, sorrow, and regret. Women, it's time to come out of grief and turn to Jesus, who gives relief. Jesus is the burden bearer, the problem solver, and deliverer. He wants to take us from the mire and lift us higher. Women, come out of darkness, come into the light. You are special, important, and valuable in God's sight. Women, God wants to give you beauty for ashes. He gives the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Women, shake off the dust and be who God created you to be. You are progressive, prevailing, powerful women of excellence, purpose, and destiny, giving thanks to God for grace and mercy continually. Rejoice for freedom from abusive captivity. Women, set your hearts on things above. Let your lives be a reflection of God's love. Now I have this little piece that I wrote at the bottom. Women, it's time to come out of abusive captivity. You must not be the enemy's playground. Respect yourselves and lift your esteem. Have faith. Be positive and strong in the Lord. Remember, He is the answer. God made women to be helpmates to men and to be by their sides, not under their feet. And that is eradicate the abuse of women. I thank you.
That was the final word, Christine. Awesome pleasure meeting you, and thank you. I still don't know where that voice came from, but I'm glad you found it. Thank you so much. We'll be back in a moment with more GMS Scan.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. And to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit today?
Good afternoon.
After finding a lump, I visited the health center to see a nurse, and she found a lump as well. Doc, do you think this is the big C? I shouldn't have cancer. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Nobody in my family has ever had cancer. Slow down, not so fast. Not every lump of the breast is cancerous. The breast goes through a number of changes. It can be a piece of fatty tissue or some other non-cancerous lump of the breast. Either way, I'll have to examine you first to make sure. Okay. I did not know I was supposed to examine my breast myself. Yes, the self-breast examination is very revealing. It is the first step in diagnosis. It is important to self-examine your breasts once monthly after you've had your period. That way, you would know how your normal, healthy breasts feel and be able to detect any changes early. If any abnormality is detected, there are more defining tests such as the ultrasound and/or mammogram. Mammogram? No, I've heard that mammogram thing hurts badly. I'm sure that most of what you've heard about the mammograms are exaggerated encounters. Here's the referral. Take it to the facility. Before the exam begins, you will have to fill out a short pre-test questionnaire. Let the doctor know if there's a possibility of pregnancy. Leave jewelry at home and wear loose, comfortable clothing. Don't wear deodorant, talcum powder, or lotion under your arms or on your breasts, as these may appear on the mammogram and interfere with correct diagnosis. During the exam, each breast is compressed horizontally between two plates for imaging, and then diagonally for further imaging as needed. So how was the experience? It's not what I expected. My teenage sister found a lump in her breast. Should she get a mammogram too? All lumps of the breast and changes should be investigated. A mammogram is recommended once a year for every woman aged 40 and over, even younger if there's a family history. Oh, gee. Women have to endure a lot. Men have to check their breasts too. Yes, some men do get breast cancer too. So remember, get checked today. Early detection saves lives.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
When most of us think about plumbing, we picture the person we call when we need someone to fix our pipes. But did you know that a plumber's job is far more vast than damage control? In this segment of Unexplored Fields, we will be speaking with plumber extraordinaire Cromwell David. He will be educating us on the ins and outs of plumbing.
Yep.
Cromwell, welcome to Good Morning SKN. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Morning, welcome. Thanks for being here.
All right, so plumbing, a field that we tend to overlook, as I just said. When people have problems, it's when we think, oh, we need a plumber. When did you get into plumbing?
Well, it's a long story. Started in 1982 when I left school.
You're just coming in.
Wanted to obtain a skill, but at that time it was the technical college instead of. So I had applied when I left school to the technical college, but I didn't get through for the first year because there was an issue with a teacher who taught the first year student. So I had to leave. And during 2082 until 84, I was doing odd jobs, construction. Then I got a part-time job with a plumber. But while I was on the construction, I was the same. I have to tell you how reached there, as the same person who taught me in college was the plumber on the same construction site.
That's interesting.
Right? So, you know, doing construction as a laborer, you go around and see what, you know, and that intrigued me. Then I went and worked with a friend of mine's dad was a plumber. And part-time, but then he left and went away. So, bouncing around for almost 2 years, I decided I'm gonna try the police force.
So you left plumbing?
No, I didn't enter the plumbing as fully as that
Okay.
time. So between 82 and 80.
Yes,
I tried different things.
Okay.
So I enter the police training school exam. But you know, in those days, police, you have to be a certain height. And I was just off about an inch, so they didn't accept me. Right? Although I did pass the exam, they didn't accept me. So in 84, the opportunity came to go back to college. And I went, and that's where I got the opportunity.
And here we are 4 decades later.
I know.
And here we are 4 decades later, lots of experience.
So, as we mentioned in the intro, a plumber's job doesn't start from damage control. When does it start?
Well, a plumber, okay, people look at a plumber as just a simple skill. Like you call a plumber, tell you have a problem, and the plumber come and solve it, and that's it. But that's not it. It's a job that you have to put a lot of time into. And while I was in college, they taught us that plumbing is money.
Yes,
and money is time. So if I given a job as to like install a toilet or something within that, I have to manage the time as well as to manage the person money who's spending it, right? So plumbing is just not sticking a pipe and that's it.
Oh, there you go. So then it's not that. What is it?
It's more than, it's a skill that you would enjoy doing.
So what do you do, like typically?
I installation, which in terms of like you're doing a building and you want a layout. Now sometimes you may get a plan from a contractor.
Yes.
The plan doesn't show you the layout or the where you need to put. It shows you the fixtures and the bathrooms, but as a plumber, you have to know the blueprint, lay out the plumbing in the way you wanted it, that in case the owner have a problem, the plumber could go and say, well, I run here and I put here. So you have to incorporate laying out the building, because the contractor doesn't do that. That's the role of the plumber. So if you don't have that knowledge as to how to go about setting it out, you end up doing things that not necessary.
So that's the reason why if you were the plumber in the building and there is a plumbing issue, you'll be the one that they'll call, because you will know exactly where in that building to dig, at least to find that problem.
Yes, that's why I said before that you need to lay out the system, the piping in such a way that it may be more easy for, not even for you alone, but because sometimes I might get a job and I do the plumbing, but then they get someone else. No, that person who comes onto the job must be able to find a way simpler for them to know that this is where the guy is. Because I have been to a lot of places, jobs, and I have difficulties obtaining what was done. So when you're doing something, you have to put it in a simple form that somebody who comes behind will be able to follow from there.
Okay.
All right, so you're a plumber, as we've said time and time again. What people viewing us right now probably want to know is, we don't want to call you when we have a problem. We want to know how we can take care of our pipes. We want to know how we can do those things.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about, mostly people have problems with water issue. When I say water issue, I mean like they complain they have high bills and they decide they don't have a leak. Right? But one of the things that carry up water in terms of high bill, I mean usage really, but the toilet. Right? For instance, you use a toilet every day. Some of them carry like 1.6 gallons, which is the tank. Now they have somewhere that you may flush, you use half, and then somebody else come and they could use this next half.
Yeah.
But then there's a way that the toilets, they call them the silent killer, in that if there's a problem with the tank, the water tends to be going out the toilet. So sometimes you find people saying they have a leak, but they can't find the leak. So in order, what we'll do is that, what I suggest to people is that turn the toilet off. Leave it for about a half an hour. And if you see all the water will move out of the tank, then that is the problem. There's another way where you could find that without turning off the water. There's a little blow thing that people try inside the tank to give them you get a tablet, drop it in. Don't flush the toilet for about half an hour. And you'll see a streak of that blow coming down inside the bowl. That's the problem.
Okay, so that's a great way to trace it.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question for you, because as we're talking about problems, we lose water, at least the water gets turned off because we're going through that water shortage period and so on. And recently at my home, there was an issue with the pipes in an area that you wouldn't really see it. I heard, water leaking. It sounded like a river almost, and like a waterfall under. And I was wondering how much of that could potentially have been contributed to because of the pressure with which the water comes back on in the morning. Is that doable?
A lot of that has to be with the, okay, what happened is that it's like a volume. It has water, the pipe, during the day. And then they turn the water off. Now, what is in the pipe in the building, unless you're not drying it off, that will run back into the government supply. Okay? So it left here in the lines. Now, when they turn the water back on, because the air is in the line, it compresses the air, the water, so you'll find sometimes you open a tap, you get this loud explosion. So what I suggest to people is that, especially like the shower, you finish showering in the evening and they're turning off water. You open the highest point, which is the shower. So when the water do come back, the air would escape at the highest point. Right? So if you don't do that, you have what you call water hammer. You get a bang, 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 bang. That leads to breakage in the wall. So I've been having a lot of that lately. Right? So I try to tell people to avoid that. Either you leave the flushing of the toilets in the night, because most weak point in that is the toilet. So if it comes back and no water is in the tank, it could blood the inlet valve,
Okay. Is there training and licensing involved in becoming a plumber?
Well, to be honest, right? Not recently, not before, but recently you have to apply if you want to have a business. But there isn't any law to say that you have to be a licensed plumber.
Okay.
Not that enough, but you could apply if you're at Inland Revenue if you want to have a business. So there could be established, because right now people are asking for people with credentials and qualifications, right? Not just a skill.
Yeah.
Because as I said, plumbing is money. Money is time. Right? So.
Indeed. I like that.
Definitely money, and prevention is always better than cure. So we're grateful that you were here today talking to us about some of the things that we can do, of course, to ensure that we, as you say, do not flush money down the drain or down the toilet, because water is one of those ways that you can do that. All right, so in closing, Cromwell, if there are people out there who are looking at you and they're saying, I didn't think that plumbing was a lucrative career, but I see Cromwell, he's been in it for 4 decades. It's clearly lucrative. He knows what he's doing. It's essential. People will always need a plumber. What would you say to them if they're thinking about getting into the field? What do they need to know?
Well, to be honest, right? Right now, presently, I have my son, right? Who, well, I must say, teaching him this skill.
Okay.
I had my nephew for about 6 years, but he just decided to stop.
Oh, okay.
And when I said he was very good, I could have go to work and left him. So now I have to start. Now, what I would like is not just men. I would like women to get involved into the plumbing. Because, you know, right now, it's very difficult to get a plumber.
Oh.
Because there's not enough people trying to get involved. As I said, in 84, I left in 86. Since I have left college in 86, they haven't any plumbing course offered since that. We were the last to come out of technical college.
Wow.
Right? So
there is that need.
So there's that need for. So most of the people who spin off as plumbers, they come from someone who was in it before.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I would like that the young people to get more involved in something like that. And especially women, not just men.
Yes.
Right? Because why I said women, I could give you a story. I had a friend and she had a problem with a toilet. The refill valve, she kept saying that it's not closing off the tank. So I asked her to do a process elimination, turn the valve off, and see if it stopped. She said no. So I told her what to buy. She bought it. And I said, okay, I'm not coming by you. You know, you to take out the valve by phone, and she did that. And she was like, oh, I'm a plumber.
Nice.
Because sometimes simple things you could walk people through.
Yes.
And that's why you give people the opportunity to advance themselves instead of you going all the time. Simple things you could give people an opportunity.
Good stuff.
You know, so I would like young people to grasp the opportunity. More men, more women.
And that's a great way to end this segment. Pleasure meeting you, Cromwell.
Indeed.
Thank you for letting us look into your life and your livelihood. See exactly what you do and why we need you. Appreciate it. More GMSKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Today we interviewed Naima and Shanice James of the St. Christopher Children's Home about the upcoming fundraiser the 2K walk and the 5K run event on Saturday. As they continue to build up the excitement for this event, the ladies left 4 tickets with us that we were trying to give away yesterday, but it didn't work out, so we're gonna try again today. To participate, all you have to do is go to our Instagram or Facebook page and tag 3 persons under the giveaway poster. Participants will then be chosen from our giveaway wheel during today's show, which is now. So there are 4 tickets to be given away, but today we are going to be giving away 2, an adult and a child. So we are going to spin that wheel and see who wins. So let's do this. Is it going to be yellow? Is it going to be red? Is it going to be blue?
You have to be in it to win it. There are 3 people in it.
So Cedric Clark is the winner of a child's ticket.
Well, he's not a child, but anyway.
No. He'll have to buy the adult to take the child.
All right, fair enough. Or he can gift it.
Yes, indeed. And there we go. Is it going to be red or blue? What do you think? What do you think? And Carol Clark has won the adult ticket. So go, Carol. See you on the walk.
Is it me, or do we not see the patterns with the C's being the initial here? C's are in it. All right. So Cedric and Carol, congratulations to you. Enjoy the walk. Thank you for joining us, all of you, that is, for another edition of GMSKN. We invite you to tune in daily to find a little bit of everything for everyone. And get your friends and family to watch. You want them to watch me? Is that what you're doing? I don't know what's going on here. All right, remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. and on Instagram at Good Morning SKN. And we're inviting you as well to like, subscribe, follow, and share, and also to check out our website at studio327inc.com. That's studio327inc.com.
Indeed. And subscribe. We are trying to get there. The 6th of December is coming up. Remember to send us those videos. Leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And see you tomorrow on Friday at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Thank you for watching as usual. Have a great day, guys.